Against the New York Rangers, Jaromir Jagr had 7 goals. He has just 1 against Florida, and this is why. Stop it right here. 2 guys, 1 guy support, 1 guy coming over. Jagr has nowhere to go. There's no room against the Florida Panthers for individual hockey. And to end it, Rhett Warner does a great job.
Face on with a shot from the point. Brasso saw it all the way and made the save. Fitzgerald took the shot. Now here comes Mario Lemieux. Lemieux met at the blue line, gets around the defense, puts it on a stick of Murray. In front, Sandstrom, he scores! Thomas Sandstrom ties it for Pittsburgh.
What a play by Lemieux at the blue line, creating what looked like an even situation. And just as the Florida Panthers make some terrific defensive plays, Lemieux ultimately burns them with a nifty play across the blue line, right between the defensemen. Robert Svela looked like, got Lindsay there. Oh no, he was a forward, Fitzgerald. And that little backhand pass goes right over to Murray. Murray to Sandstrom, and Sandstrom, a former teammate of John Van Beesbrook's in New York. Oh, there's the play by Lemieux. Terrific work right there. Just when it looked like the Panthers had him covered. See what happens? Sandstrom's the recipient of that marvelous play. Give Murray some credit, too. He had to be quick to get the puck across. Van Beesbrook's got no chances. He's going from right to left the same way Tom Barrasso was going from left to right on Straka. Great play for Sandstrom. His 2nd goal in 2 games.
And the 4th of the play on Sandstrom. The assist will go to Murray and Mario Lemieux, who met the defense at the blue line and left them in his wake. What a move by Lemieux to pass, and he got around the defense.
They have to have confidence to do that, because if he turns that over with that nifty move, the Panthers are going the other way with 4 men. He makes the plays as great players do.
Roach now as the Penguins try and put more pressure on. 7:15 to go. Regulation tied now at 3. Time of that goal, 12-17. J.J. Daniel behind the net. Old Mo has switched uniforms again. Nedved. Looking. Oh, a beautiful pass on the stick of Jagr. Just failed to control it. Jagr centering pass off the side of the goal, and here is Hunt. Trying to get around Zubov, but Barrasso is there. Off the glass, a funny bounce, but Brad Lauer is on it. Nedved trips at the blue line, gets it to Lauer, back to Jagr, but his stick was tied up. Zubov nicely keeps it in the zone. Lauer in the corner, in front to Nedved, the cutting in front. For the Florida Panthers, that's Stu Barnes. Now Lowry dumps in the zone.
Stu Barnes had a real strong defensive game, I tell you. And he's one of their big guys offensively, but he's been very sharp in his own zone, breaking up many offensive plays by the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This will be icing on Pittsburgh as Ray Shepard touches up. 6:07 to go in regulation time.
When you look at it, this is Game 6. The Pittsburgh Penguins can afford to lose this game because they have the benefit of going down for Game 7. As we said before, though, Mario Lemieux and Jagr, the guys that have been there before, Ronnie Francis behind the bench right now as a coach and a support player, they know because they've been there before. You don't want to send it to a 7th game. This is their desperation 7th game. A lot of pressure going on home ice. Home ice right now is where the Florida Panthers are. They have to do everything in their power. A puck is loose, you've got to dive. You've got to put your face in it. Same way Mike Ramsey did last night for the Detroit Red Wings in breaking up plays. You can't give up on a play because that one shot, regardless of how far away or how close it is, could end up in the net, and it could be the one that breaks your back and ends your season. They're not done yet. They're right in this one. 6 minutes left, 3-3 game.
You mentioned Mike Ramsey. I want to echo Bill Clement's comments of last night. Congratulations, Ramsey, on a great career. Partner through a crowd. Rebound! For the Florida Panthers, Game 6, NHL Eastern Conference Finals, a game Florida has to win, and they've taken the lead with 6 minutes to go.
What a period. Rob Niedermeyer, a left-hand shot, cleanly wins the faceoff. Right now, it looks like he's tied up, but he gets away from the traffic, gets in front of the net. Brian Smolinski doesn't hold him up. That's his man, and Niedermayer gets a break. He's been good in front of the net in this game. He's had some chances, and he pays the price in front, gets in front of Barrasso, and eventually scores the go-ahead goal for the Florida Panthers. Barrasso makes the saves, but the rebound's there, and he is untouched. Brian Smolinski doesn't get back to him. For whatever reason, Smolinski just let him go, and Niedermayer gets his fourth. Oh, man, this is crazy, isn't it?
It sure is, and they're going nuts here in Miami. Ryan Smolinski feels bad about it. He was the hero here, Smolinski was, for Pittsburgh, in game number 4 with a late goal as the Penguins came off the mat in the third period. But he knows the responsibility was his, and Niedermayer ended up giving Florida the lead.
Yeah, you got that right. You don't have to tell a player, and a player as good as Brian Smolinski, a player that they count on in defensive situations. So Smolinski makes one minor mistake, and it results in the goal. The same thing I was saying, the Panthers had to do everything in their power because they don't get a chance at another one if they lose this one. So they do everything in their power. They win a face-off, and because that win from Rod Niedermayer, they get a goal. Again, Niedermayer's a left-hand shot right here on Smolinski. Does a nice job of pushing the stick of Smolinski backwards, then cleanly gets the puck right back to his point position. Good method and technique shown by Niedermayer, a youngster. Smolinski's got him. Everything's fine. No, it's not fine. Smolinski might have thought that Barrasso was going to cover up that puck. That puck came through traffic, and Barrasso let the rebound go.
The lone assist, Darren, on that goal by Niedermayer to Terry Partner, who threw it through traffic, came out in front, and Niedermayer poked it home. Plays on in the Pittsburgh zone. Mellanby gets there. Niedermayer tries to help him out, but back come the Penguins. Glenn Murray. Murray looking to make a play. Nobody to help, so he took the shot. Forced Van Beesbrook to make the save. Murray again, but Lemieux was leaving the zone, and it's an offside play anyway. And they got to blow the whistles 2 or 3 times now to be heard in this building.
There ain't no one scoring 4 or more goals in a game. It's a magic number for the Florida Panthers. They're not a team that's going to put 5, 6, or 7 on the board, although they have been pretty efficient in terms of goals for and goals against. The Florida Panthers have averaged just over 3 goals per game, and they've given up just under 2.5 per game. Now the desperation falls on the shoulders of Eddie Johnson's hockey club, and you're going to see a lot of double shifting, a lot of Yager, a lot of Lemieux, maybe on the same line as he's done so many times, although that hasn't been the case in this game, except for 4-on-4.
Again, if necessary, you'll see exclusive coverage of Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals Saturday night from Pittsburgh on ESPN at 7:30 Eastern Time. Van Beesbrook taking no chances now with a 1-goal lead. He'll cover up for a face-off with traffic in front. Time to take a look, if we can, at our Miller Beer League leaders. Active playoff shutouts, Patrick Waugh, who's sitting home undoubtedly watching this game tonight. Active goalies and shutouts, Mike Richter with 6 for the New York Rangers, and Tom Barrasso picked up his 5th the other night in Pittsburgh in Game 5.
And Barrasso has been sharp. He went 2 games and gave up only 1 goal in that time, winning 2-1 here, then winning 3-0. He has he's made 32 saves, I should say, and faced 36 shots on goal from this very pesky Florida Panther Hockey Club.
4-3, shot from the point by Daigneault, and Van Beesbrook another save. Run-off and Huff fight for it along the boards. And Huff comes out with a 2-on-1. He and Skrudlin. Daigneault is back. Skrudlin can't control it off his right skate. And Daigneault whacks him from behind along the boards in the corner. 4:39 to go, regulation time. Hartmanlaw faked the shot, tried to feed Skrudlin. Skrudlin out to the point, Spela deflecting wide. Now it's Skrudlin in front, and Huff. They're buzzing around Barrasso. Penguins just trying to clear it, and they do. Cheers even louder here at the Miami Arena. They may need a new roof here. The Panthers go on and win this game. Lowry dumps it in. Barrasso the stick save. corner, trying to feed Ray Shepard, but that was intercepted by Mironov. And here comes Smolinski. Joe Dudzik has a goal tonight. Tries to feed it in front. Roach from his knees. Can't make a pass. But Tamer keeps it in the Florida zone. Brett Warner will lift it all the way down the ice.
And no icing right there as the Panthers collapse deep inside their own zone. They'll be doing a lot of wrapping off the glass, making sure they clear the zone, taking care of their blue line, and chipping it out.
In South Florida, they say that they still believe in miracles, and the fans who came here tonight did not want this to be the last game of the season. As Melanie shoots just wide of the glove side. That was a rocket by Scott Mellenby, who has a goal tonight.
That might have scraped even the snow that is built up around the lower parts of the post on Barrasso.
Terry Carter got an assist on a go-ahead goal. Now it's Mellenby. Takes the shot. Barrasso to set. Struck on Barrasso. Keeps it a one-goal game with Martin Straka on the doorstep. 2:57 to go in regulation. The Florida Panthers hope they can live to play another day.
I got a plan for tonight, and the plan is to have no plan at all. Maybe I'll send my left brain on vacation for a while. Maybe I'll let my soul be the boss. Maybe I'll stay out a little late. Maybe I'll stay out a lot late. Maybe I'll go to a party uninvited and dance with every woman in the place without touching the floor once. Maybe I'll go to a city that never sleeps, and maybe I'll put it to bed. What are you gonna do? Bolson Ice, step outside.
Welcome, Olympic basketball teams. As a host to this year's Olympic Games, me, Akim Olajuwon, and the rest of American Dream Team are going to treat these guys for lunch.
We said we're going to eat these guys for lunch, not treat. Whoops.
To Akim. When you need a world of purchase power, it's time to go for the gold. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Lemieux, Yager. Look at the minutes played by Mario. 30 minutes, just shy of it. 1 point. See the shot column right there? That's the big one. 0 shots on goal for both these hockey players. Just before that, they're going to live for another 3 minutes because Mellenby's shot was stopped by Barrasso. It's a save that Barrasso makes on Straka. A desperation attempt by Straka and by Barrasso, and Barrasso comes up huge on Straka, who has just had a terrific game for the Panthers.
Face off in the Pittsburgh zone. Daniel behind his own goal up to Lauer. Well, you know, we commented on the great defensive play by Yager and Lemieux in the series, but you're down by goal with 3 minutes to go. These two got to get involved, I would think. Here's Garpenlaw, and Barrasso makes the glove save for another face-off. Time to remind you, if necessary, Game 7, Pittsburgh and Florida. Is it necessary? Maybe, and if it is, you'll see it exclusively on ESPN from Pittsburgh, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. The game that the Penguins wanted to avoid, maybe 2 minutes, 40 seconds away from happening.
Yager and Lemieux combined for 15 goals against the New York Rangers. He told me yesterday that the difference between the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers is that the Panthers play a zone, and it's very difficult to penetrate. You get by one guy, you're going to run into another guy, whereas the Rangers played one-on-one, and if you beat one guy, you had a chance to go right one-on-one with the goaltender. They are having a lot of difficulties with this Florida Panther club.
Brett Warner sends it through traffic, blocked by the defense in front, and Smolinski is on it for the Penguins. Hands of time running out on Pittsburgh in this game, 2:20 and counting. J.J. Tinio in his own zone up to Nedved. Nedved through some arms and legs, too far for Smolinski. Dmitry Mironov. Yager can't handle. Lowry and Smolinski. Brett Warner tries to clear the zone, cannot. Murray keeps it in. Nice hustle by Murray, but Florida picks it up and will clear. Coming back to the game, baseball tonight. That's next after our hockey game here in Florida. Sandstrom back to Tamer. Cross-ice Zubov. Mario Lemieux sends it to the corner for Sandstrom. Murray cuts to the goal, but they can't get it to him. Minute and a half to go in regulation. Sandstrom. He's got a goal tonight. Zubov through traffic. Going for the the Pittsburgh net. Shot down is Van Beesbrook, and the Panthers are on it. Play continues, and Barasso's got to stay put. It is a pin here at the Miami Arena. Ron Niedermeyer left-handed forces a save from Barasso, and we'll watch him in the net. All the Panthers want to do is
try to nullify Yager here, try to nullify Lemieux. Make the smart play for the Panthers to force a 7th game.
Under a minute to go, and Barasso can't leave the goal crease. One of the great stories in the world of sports in 1996 may be continuing. Nedved, Yager, shoot, save, and Beesbrook.
Oh my!
Wow.
Well, I'm not sure if Yager ever got great wood on this, but John Van Beesbrook shows why he's been such a star in this league. Yager, all alone, it rolled off the end of his blade, hit Kartner, and then somehow Van Beesbrook was able to stick with that puck. Hey, those are the ones that sneak through the legs and just get by you. You keep your eye on the back end here from Yager. Goes to the back end, misses it. It goes off Kartner's stick, and Van Beesbrook helps up the big guy on defense, Terry Kartner, keeping that puck out of the net.
Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins, will they have to play Saturday night in a 7th game? Mario Lemieux said this morning, don't want to play a 7th game. The bounces could go against you. Florida would be in 7th heaven if they hold the lead for another 34.6 seconds. They know they're the underdogs. They've been from the beginning, and they'll take their chances. Baseball tonight, coming up right after we're through with hockey tonight in South Florida. You know, Darren, I've been doing sport events in this city for many, many years. This is a tough market. It takes a lot to get people enthused. They are in love with their hockey team, and Eddie Johnston right now is hoping his team can tie it up and send it to overtime.
He's setting up a plan here off the face-off, as it'll be to the right of John Van Beesbrook. Looking for a shot. Zubov's on the point. Don't forget, Zubov's got a very quick shot. Lemieux down low, trying to buy some time. Florida Panthers will do everything in their power to block shots. Hold on to guys, let go of their stick, get sticks in the midsection. And Brian Skrudland, such a key face-off performer, will go up against Peter Nedved, who's emerged as the best centerman because Ron Francis is out with that foot injury. Keep your eye on Mario Lemieux, though. Mario Lemieux is on Nedved's left side. Lemieux's a right-hand shot. Look for Lemieux right here. The puck to go back, and Lemieux come over towards the middle and create a better scoring angle.
Nedved and Skrudland. Face-off won by Florida, and Fitzgerald clears the zone. The Pittsburgh goal is empty, and Zubov whacks it around the boards quickly up to Daniel. 23 seconds to go in the game. For one more rush for the Pittsburgh Penguins as Daniel dumps it in. Yager on the sideboards. And it's cleared to center. Zubov is back, and the Florida Panthers are going to be in 7th heaven. Our final score. Tempers flare, unfortunately, at the buzzer, much as they did at the end of Game 3. Now they're here to be calming down as the linesmen come in. The final score, the Florida Panthers force a 7th game with the Pittsburgh Penguins. They win it by a count of 4-3. Doug McLean and his group will hit the road for Pittsburgh, and they'll meet Eddie Johnston's Penguins in Game 7. You'll see it exclusively on ESPN Saturday night at 7:30. Is this the final home game at the Miami Arena? Tune in Saturday to find out. For Darren Pang, Al Morganti, our entire crew, good night from the Miami Arena. Baseball tonight is next.
All signs point to a wild one on Baseball tonight. We'll investigate if signs are being stolen around the league. The big hurt can be a bad sign for American League pitchers, but the concern of others was a good sign for Brett Butler.
The response of the media, my friends and family members, I was overwhelmed and overtaken, and I was just so joyful and just content.
The pitching duel in New York was a good sign for baseball this afternoon. But is this more of a sign of the times in today's game? Baseball tonight, next. you enjoyed the exciting hockey tonight. There will be a Game 7, and there will be a double dip of baseball tonight. Chris Berman, along with Harold Reynolds. Not a busy night in baseball, Harold, but yet an intriguing night. We have some things in the early and the late show that we think that you will be both amused by and very much come to grips with. There are some heavy-hitting interviews and also some heavy-hitting interviews by Harold in a totally different role. Well, today who's been heavy-hitting this year has been Charles Nagy and, of course, the Cleveland Indians. Nagy, the young man from Connecticut, is trying to up his mark to 9-1 as the Tribe, on a rare 3-game skid, played the Milwaukee Brewers. The Tribe just being swept by the Texas Rangers. And bad news for Cleveland, who were trying to get off the schneid, because as Nagy was going for win number 9 in the top of the first inning, Carlos 1 up by Land, 2 up by C, 3 up by Erga, hit by Ricky Bonas, hits him on the right hand, and stay in the game for a while, but left in the 5th inning. Top of the 2nd, the Indians get the bonus. Manny Ramirez with runners at 1st and 2nd. It's up Belupa off Vina's glove. Jim Thome scores. The Tribe up 1-0. Next batter, Sandy Alomar Jr., and remember the other Alomar to the left field corner. Eddie Eat, Drink, and B. Murray scores 2-0 Tribe. Nagy pitched well against Mike Matheny. Gas. Nagy retired 11 in a row. Julio Franco, a long fly. Avert your eyes here. What? Chucky Carr. This looks, thank goodness, worse than it is. Hyperextends the right knee. No fracture. I'll have an MRI tomorrow. He went right to the hospital. That looked awful, but at least it's better than it looked. And right now the Indians are leading that game by the count of 2-0.
And he hung on to the ball.
Very impressive. He hung on to the ball. 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 8th, though, for the Brewers. Meanwhile, the Tigers and the White Sox. The Tigers trying to win 2 in a row. But Harold, 5-4-3 DP, it is the Tigers.
This is the Tigers. They've been struggling all year, and when you make plays like that, you're going to give the opponent a chance of driving a lot of runs.
Wilson Alvarez gets Mark Lewis looking in the 5th, retired 11 straight Tigers. The White Sox lead at 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th with 2 men on. And the big hurt, Frank Thomas doubles to left. Tony Phillips will be around to score. The White Sox lead at 2-0. Bottom of the 6th inning, Ozzie Guillen. This one, hey, they don't play Ozzie there. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Miami Karkovice scores. Durham scores. 5-1 Sox, and then more Tiger baseball.
Oh, right here, the double play ball, and that speaks for itself.
I don't want to laugh. I mean, Buddy Bell was so excited last night. He said, I don't really know how to act. When the Tigers won a game, which for them was only their 5th win in their last 37, back to normalcy, and it looks like the White Sox are on their way to their 10th win in their last 12. On the top of the 8th, they lead that by the count of 8-1. Frank Thomas, by the way, 2 for 4 with a pair of RBI. And speaking of Frank Thomas, he now has enough plate appearances. The minimum is 3,000. He got to that a little earlier this year. And his all-time slugging percentage of .597 is 6th lifetime, behind some guys you might have heard of. Ruth, Williams, Carrig, Fox, and Hank Greenberg. Thomas is 6th. I mean, it's not news that the 2-time MVP in the American League is such a dangerous hitter, but people forget he's such a good average hitter as well as for power, Harold.
A big guy like that, you don't expect to see the numbers that he's throwing up. 3,000, that was an amazing graphic. 3,000 at-bats, and that means he's almost 2/3 the way there when you're getting 600% on base. I mean, that's unreal.
And you know what's amazing, if you think of what Thomas does, the 3 of the best, of course, Thomas, MVP 93, 94 last year. The guys who won 2 in the MVP race were Mo Vaughn, who won it, and Albert Bell, who was 2nd. And you look at this year, our point is that these are big guys. Thomas, of course, every year has been batting up in that range. You know, his lowest average was 308 last year. His lifetime average is 324. But Albert Bell last year hit 317. Now he's hitting down to 344. Mo Vaughn had 300 and 310 the last 2 years. Remember Bell 2 years ago at 357. When you look at this and you think about it, big guys, powerful guys who could win batting titles and maybe triple crowns if Robbie Alomar ever decides to get off 400.
The only big guy I can even remember in my time was Dave Parker. You know, Dave was a big guy to hit for that kind of average and that kind of power. That's amazing. And Dave Winfield won a batting title hitting a lot that high too.
But these guys now, especially Thomas every year, and now Bell for the third straight year, and Mo Vaughn again. I mean, these guys are 300 hitters, which is a very scary thought.
Got the big old pipes and they're big and tall. You don't expect
nice
it.
little new parks or old parks in the American League. Well, let's go on to the National League, where the Dodgers have had a nice road trip thus far, thank you. They've won 4 of 5 on the road. They only lost a couple nights ago to the Phillies. Tonight they were back at Philadelphia. And let's get the latest as Mike Piazza not playing tonight. Top of the first, no score. Todd Hollandsworth off Mike Williams, and it's gone. 1-0 Dodgers. Still in the first inning after Hollandsworth's home run. Eric Charismatic is at first. Delano to Coconut to Shields. Singles in center field. Carroll's digging hard. Ricky Otero will throw to Mickey Morandini. The play at the plate to Mike Lieberthal. Lieberthal did the nice deke, making it look like the throw wasn't coming in. Then he put the tag on. Out! Bottom of the fourth, first and second, one out. Glenn Murray. A one-time Expo big-time prospect. The Red Sox drops in front of Cedeno. Runners move up. Murray has a single. But watch Eric Karros. Takes the throw. Okay, now pay attention. Murray's a youngster. What happened? He tagged him out on a hidden ball trick. And then, bottom of the ninth, Pete Incaviglia drives in Morandini. Safe. So Jim Fregosi has this youngster hidden ball, but they say, okay, inky dinky do. Had the 2 homers the other night. Comes back with the game winner in the bottom of the ninth. And the Phillies, the scrappy Phillies, have won it by the count of 3-2 over the Dodgers as Lieberthal hit a home run, his 5th. Mark Whitten hit a home run, his 5th. The Phillies with a pair of the ninth to win that game off of Todd We Are the Worrell, who falls to 1-3. When we return, the Mariners, are they ahead of the all-time pace? Paul Wilson in a 1-0 game, and a sobering talk with Brett Butler, his first interview since surgery.
The Silver Bullet. It's shipped cold to tap the cool taste of the Rockies. Tap the Rockies, Coors Light.
To apply for a Discover card, all you have to do is give us a ring at 1-800-DISCOVER. There's no annual fee. And with our cashback bonus award, the sooner you call, the sooner we can return the favor. It pays to Discover.
They say, surround yourself with Earth's forms and you'll find tranquility. In the presence of power, you'll achieve peace of mind. Remove yourself from chaos and you'll experience rejuvenation. Hence, our newest edition, Wide Open Spaces. Introducing the longer, roomier Jaguar Vanden Pla.
Many credit card rebates hold you down with restrictions and yearly limits, but not the Discover card. The more you use it, the higher your cashback bonus award. So when it comes to our rebates, the sky is the limit. It pays to Discover.
Baseball Tonight is brought to you by Aquafresh Whitening. Safe to use every day for dazzling whiter teeth. And by Best Buy. Just the store you've been shopping for.
For all the merriment that we've had this season, we certainly have had some very sobering stories, and none higher on the list than Brett Butler. Butler, of course, would like so much to be with his Dodger teammates. We said that they were having a good road trip until tonight, but obviously Butler has other things on his mind. He thought he'd be spending May 21st playing for the Dodgers against the Mets. Instead, he spent it on the operating table, having 50 lymph nodes, one of them cancerous, removed. He thought he'd be spending tonight with the Dodgers in Philly. Instead, he spent it a day after having surgical staples removed from his neck. He thought he'd be spending June 10th at Dodger Stadium trying to beat the Cardinals. Instead, he will spend it beginning 6 weeks of 5-day-a-week radiation treatments. And as Bob Serkin found out in Butler's first interview since the surgery, despite all the unhappy surprises, Brett Butler is very grateful.
You had a premonition that you had cancer, didn't you?
Well, I'm a hypochondriac by nature. You know, my dad died in '84 of a heart attack at 49 years old, and my mother had lung cancer, and then she had a brain tumor, and then she died last year at 59 years old on August 9th. And so to me, I had a lump right there where I thought the node was, but I thought, man, it was infection. But kiddingly, I said to Bob, I said, Bob, you know, this could be cancer. And he laughed at me. He goes, oh, that isn't cancer. That's just, you know, tonsillitis. You got a kid's disease, and you'll be fine.
Go ahead and just describe the
second
surgery and the results.
Well, we really weren't sure if it was just a lymph node that had cancer in it or not. So the thought process was we were going to do a neck dissection initially. I didn't know how big the stitches were going to be or how big the scar was going to be, all of that, but they put in 38 staples. What he did is he went behind my ear here, all the way down the side of my neck, almost to halfway through my shoulder, and then took me from my Adam's apple and cut me back across to meet that parallel. And about where that it meets there, that conjunction, is about where the tumor itself was. I can tell you I felt like that my faith was strong as a man. And I can tell you in the first 4 or 5 days of the tonsillectomy and the pain that I was in, I failed miserably as a human being in my faith. My wife was the rock, and I failed miserably. Once I was able to...
Why do you say that?
Well, because to me, I've always been the optimist. She's been the realist, so to speak. She was being the optimist. I was the realist. Well, there was a chance I could die. But I wasn't more concerned of the cancer. I was more concerned about... I was afraid I wasn't going to die. That's how much pain it was. So going through the pain of the humanistic feeling of pain and having that faith where I'd be able to get through anything with my faith. You know, to me, it was like, just let me die. That's how bad I felt. I can move it, but it's real stiff. It's just like getting a Charlie horse or something on the outside. It's still painful for me to swallow. When I swallow water, there are times where the soft palate in the top of my mouth is still so soft that a lot of times the fluid will come out of my nose or something. So we're still trying to work with that. At night, I'm on some painkillers about every 4 hours to try to help me sleep at night. But it's nothing like the pain that I had with the tonsillectomy, and it's something that I found out in my weakness. God is strong, and He's gotten me through all these times, and He promised He wouldn't give me something I couldn't handle, and we've come through with flying colors.
Brett, medically, there's certainly no conclusive evidence that the smokeless tobacco caused your problem. But how do you feel about it? What do you think contributed to it, and did the smokeless tobacco, in your opinion, play a role in this illness? Maybe it could have. Like I said, I hadn't dipped in 15 years, and I'd done it for, I think, 2 or 3 years. And could it have played a role? I'm not going to say it didn't, but I'm not going to say it did either. I'm saying that there is that possibility that it could. To me, smokeless tobacco is something we shouldn't use. We need to be a positive role model and let these kids know and everybody else out there that smokeless tobacco can cause cancer, can cause trouble along with smoking. I don't care what the General Assembly says about smoking, that it's not harmful to your health. We all know that it is. For a company to come out and say that it doesn't, we know it does. And so I'm one to say that I believe that smokeless tobacco is bad for you. I believe smoking is bad for you. And to me, that we shouldn't do that. But to me, I'm not necessarily saying that that's what caused the cancer. Well, if everything goes according to plan, you'll be done with the radiation about July 19th. Do you really think that you'll have it in you to actually play the rest of the season, or just be a presence in the clubhouse? Well, I don't know. Like I said, they said all those years I was too little and I couldn't play, and that you'll never play Major League Baseball. Now they're saying there's a slim to no chance that I could get back to the big leagues and play again, and that I'd have my strength and enthusiasm. Well, I'm one to tell you that the mind's a powerful thing.
Brett Butler, of course, very gutty in giving that interview so recently after the surgery. On June 15th, Brett Butler will celebrate his 39th birthday. That's during the first week of what will be 6 weeks of radiation treatment. He's been in the majors since 1981, but here in 1996, of course, this is a different sort of major leagues that he's in. And just as Butler was so successful first with the Atlanta Braves and, of course, the Cleveland Indians and the Giants and the Dodgers and briefly the Mets, so you have the feeling, will he be successful in this major league battle, the battle to beat throat cancer? All of us wish Brett the best. He was very nice to give us some time, to give us a little insight. When we return, a baseball rarity, a 1-0 game. It took barely over 2 hours. It was great. We'll be back.
It's time to see how the North, South, East, and West was won. So giddy up, buckaroos. The Toyota Summer Drive Sales event is on. If you hightail it into your dealer, you can corral a T100 with a great deal. Or get your wheels dirty in a Toyota Tacoma with low 1.9% financing. But you gotta hurry, because there's great values on Toyota trucks and many happy trails to go. So drive.
Gentlemen, athletic lunacy will be served up daily, fresh, piping hot. Please come back a second.
The X Games, coming soon.
You know, being around Jack, he's a great guy to work for. Just how much you learn being with the guy, you can't get sick of it. You really can't. It's great. Do I think there'll be another Jack Nicklaus? No. I don't think there will.
Welcome back to baseball tonight. In this season, when we've seen scores like 26-7 and 13-11 and 10-8 being the normal, there have only been 9 1-0 games thus far in the major leagues. But you know what? The Mets won one on Sunday. Less than 2 weeks ago, they were involved in one against the San Francisco Giants when Alan Watson beat them 1-0. And sure enough, here's Alan Watson pitching for the Giants against the Mets in New York. So did that mean 1-0 again? Well, not the way Paul Wilson has been going for the New York Mets. Wilson has changed every look. As we roll it from Shea Stadium in New York, afternoon game. This is how he looked early in the year, the youngster with a full beard. He struggled, went to the goatee, and at 1-5, today he was clean shaven. I know the head was next, probably. Jay Buhner would agree with that. But against Sean Dunston, the K early, and Steve Scarsone really struggled today against Wilson's heater. 8 Ks for Paul through 8 innings of work. But Alan Watson again had the good stuff working. Bernard Gilkey had 2 homers the other night. He's struck out there on off speed. Then Todd that doggo Hundley is frozen. Watson struck out 4. And really, most of the hits he allowed were of the broken bat variety. But in the 8th, leadoff man Ray Ordonez, a bad bounce. Matt Williams still normally handles it. It's a hit, but he doesn't. Ordonez eventually goes to third base. And with 2 out, Vizcaino, bottom of the 8th, base hit to the hole. And the Mets lead it 1-0. Wilson was pinch hit for that inning. John Franco in the 9th. Javier bunted his way on. Barry Bonds could put the Giants in the lead. Back. But Lance Johnson catches it. A big win, kept it in the park. Javier moved up to second. Matt Williams went down fishing for 2 outs. And after a big battle in which Mark Carrion fouled off a handful of pitches, a shot to third, Jeff Kent gets it across the diamond. And Franco saves it for the rookie Paul Wilson, who gave up just 3 hits in his 8 innings of work. Watson went the route 8 innings, gave up 6 hits, but takes the loss. Even his mark at 5-5, Franco would save number 10. So 1-0 games this year. There are now been 10 of them in the major leagues. Games in which there are 23 or more runs scored, there have been 16. That could be 13-10. That can be 16-7. Whatever it is, the 1-0 games are a rarity. And I'll tell you what, Harold, after going to that game today this afternoon, it's time to lower the mound because obviously the pitchers have too much advantage over the hitters. It was so nice. The game took 2 hours and 9 minutes. The teams were into it. The pitchers were sharp. The relief pitching had the drama in the 9th. It was baseball. It was good to see back and good to see Paul Wilson show the form.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul Wilson, last week he was a big topic out here on the East Coast talking about should they send him down. And I was saying, man, the guy, they're 11.5 back. The young man's got good stuff. Today he came out. They made a little bit of adjustment in his stride, and he came back. He battled through 8 strong innings. I mean, he showed the stuff that everybody knew he had. He's starting to get the command, and I'm looking for big things from him. I think he's going to be all right. But don't put too much pressure on him yet. Let him be a youngster. Let him grow up.
He was a hero in spring training. They were booing him, and now the monkey off a little bit because Dallas Green afterwards, the manager said, there's a big start for him. Maybe 1 or 2 more bad ones, and he might have gone down. John Franco has he has more than 300 saves. He got the 300 save this year, but lately people have been, the Met fans have been on him too because he's always putting a guy on first. Javier bunted on the first pitch in the ninth inning to get on board. But some of the best relievers, Goose Gossage comes to mind, and others, Quisenberry, they always were working with a guy on.
That's their mental makeup. I mean, he likes the pressure. And I'm not saying load him up every time, John, but I am saying some people pitch better under pressure, and he is one of those guys that's proven that. Quisenberry, Gossage, I mean, people in New York, you ought to be used to that. The Goose was there a long time with pressure. Guys like the pressure.
Well, in the old days, they used to come in with runners on in the eighth, so they were used to pitching with men on. Franco, maybe in the beginning of Franco's career that way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, in the beginning of his career, that's how guys did it. Now they bring them in top of the ninth, and they load them up and do different things.
Hey, but Franco's gotten the job done. He got saved number 10, and he saved it for the youngsters. Mets take 2 out of 3 from the Giants during this midweek set. When we return, West Coast action tonight. The Mariners at home against the Red Sox. We'll check in on that, and we'll update the Indians and more. Stay with us on Baseball Tonight.
You don't know what you're up against out there, rookie. Heavy lumber. There's a gap. And another. See ya. They're gonna pull up at the arc. Count it.
3 seconds on the clock. Jump.
Stay out of the paint, rookie. Stay out of the paint. Oh, the humanity. You did not bring.
PlayStation, now $199.
They say, surround yourself with Earth's forms and you'll find tranquility. In the presence of power, you'll achieve peace of mind. Remove yourself from chaos and you'll experience rejuvenation. Hence, our newest edition, Wide Open Spaces. Introducing the longer, roomier Jaguar Vanden Pla.
Later on SportsCenter, can Mario take the final step in his comeback? The Sonics must stop the music before they run with the Bulls. And will Rick be around to defend his title? For Linda Cohn, I'm Dan Patrick. We'll see you at 11 Eastern.
Here we go to the 8th inning. Paul Orville-Ossenmacher touched up last night, but with the bases loaded, gets Dave Nilsson-Schmilson to strike out swinging. And the Indians and Ossenmacher get out of the inning. We go to the top of the 9th now with the Tribe leading that game 2-0 as Fetters is trying to hold the Indians at bay and the Brewers get one last crack at it. Now we go out west. We're Boston and Seattle. Solomon Torres pitching. And in the top of the 3rd, Milt Kyler to left field. Sends it back, and in the Kingdome, Milt Kyler.
You got to be kidding me.
He's hit a home run.
Opposite field.
Opposite field. Hey, how many fathoms was that out there? They took that off finally, didn't they? His first homer of the year. And the Red Sox lead at 1-0. They've gone top 4. Tom Gordon against King Solomon Torres. The Mariners, of course, they hit homers by the bushel. And going into tonight, now the Mariners have played 50 games. They have 89 home runs. The 1961 Yankees, who set a major league record with 240 home runs, when Maris had 61, Mantle had 54, and 4 others had over 20, through 50 games had only 65 homers. We're a long way off, but the Mariners certainly have a leg up, perhaps, in getting into the record book. Always with a leg up, SportsCenter. Dan and Linda will tell you if there's a Game 7 between Utah and Seattle. They'll tell you if there's a Game 7 between the Panthers and the Penguins. We'll be back in a moment.
No matter what kind of call your business makes, AT&T stands behind it. This is the most powerful communications network in the world. And if your call ever runs into trouble, the network sends you around it. Or if a cable gets cut, it won't affect you. No other network handles so much business, and no other network guarantees all of it. Only AT&T stands behind every kind of call your business makes. Where does your phone company stand? AT&T, for the life of your business.
If you want your house to look this good, use Sherwin-Williams Best Exterior House Paint. With a 20-year warranty against peeling, blistering, and fading. It's no wonder we call it Super Paint. Save on all exterior Super Paint with Super Paint Flat, now 20% off. Sherwin-Williams. Where to get it?
SportsCenter has been so huge over the years. All kinds of spin-offs have been created. There's been SportsCenter, the Saturday morning cartoon.
Hi, I'm Keith Olbermann.
Hi, I'm Dan Patrick. Welcome to The Big Show.
SportsCenter, the concept album, and who could forget SportsCenter, the movie.
Dan, but I'm not like the other sportscasters. You make me feel in fuego.
Billy!
When a toothpaste helps get teeth their dazzling whitest, people want to know more.
But what's so different about Aquafresh Whitening?
A patented tri-clean formula that whitens without peroxide, bleach, or harsh abrasives.
What does it really do?
Aquafresh Whitening safely and gently breaks up stains to help get your teeth their whitest.
You got proof it works?
Aquafresh Whitening is clinically proven to whiten better than Crest. Even Rembrandt can't beat it.
So every day I brush helps my teeth get whiter.
Aquafresh Whitening, safe to use every day for dazzling whiter teeth.
In orbit, it's a short list tonight. Of course, there's only 5 games tonight, but don't worry, the night is still young. Just 5 names. Our Sunday night game of the week, the Braves and the Reds. Should be Tommy Glavine going at Cincinnati. That's at 8 Eastern on Sunday. Our College World Series coverage begins on Friday with Oklahoma and Alabama. That's Friday at 4 Eastern, 1 on the West Coast. We'll see you in an hour. Jay Buhner running for vice president. For Harold, I'm Chris, SportsCenter. Next.
All right, kids, listen up. It's time for the ESPN Spelling Bee. Here's a hint. It's a 12-letter compound word.
Could I buy a vowel?
Well, it does have several E's, as in the Beezer, looking to keep the Panthers' playoff hopes alive.
Any other information you can give me?
Yes, on it, you will see the Sonics trying to spell defeat for the Jazz.
May I please have the definition?
No, but you will see the great white shark get beached.
C-O-R-D. Notochord.
Ooh, no. You'll have to go back to school. Maybe you'll take a course with Professor Patino or sit next to this kid in class.
I'm going to start over.
You mean like this Met rookie looking for a way to correct his early season woes? Okay, one hit. It doesn't have any French Open origin.
SportsCenter, SportsCenter. Next.
Hi, aren't you glad you tuned in? Along with tag team colleague Dan Patrick, I'm Linda Cohn.
Coming up on The Big Show, the Bulls have suffered a loss. We will bring you the highlights and post-game comments from the NBA's Western Conference, but we begin with the NHL's Eastern Conference Finals.
With the league's Cinderella team facing elimination for the very first time. The Florida Panthers just didn't want to close the book yet on their fairy tale. They wanted at least 2 more chapters to be written in the form of 2 more wins against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The problem for the Panthers, they were up against a Penguins team whose record was 7-0 after Game 3 in their past 3 playoff series. To the Rats' Nest we go, where the Rats were falling early. Scott Mellenby with a rush. Scott Mellenby beating Tom Barrasso. The net flies off, but the puck is in. Question, should it count? Did the Pens have control of the puck? There was a delayed penalty. That would have called the play dead. The puck goes off Chris Tamer. No, Barrasso was not in control. Terry Gregson checks with the replay officials, and it counts. 1-0, Florida. Early second, John Van Beesbroek on early. The glove save on Peter Nedved. Seconds later, puck flipped out of the corner. Dave Roach to Kevin Miller. That's sweet. We're tied at 1. Miller's third. Still in the second. Still tie game. Sergei Zubov to J.J. Daigneault. He is shot, deflected right in front by Joe Diedzik, and that put the Pens up 2-1. Doug McLean frustrated. Later in the second, Tom Fitzgerald. His shot, Barrasso, the save, but Bill Lindsay would be there for the rebound, and he puts it home. We are tied at 2. The Panthers not giving up. Barrasso could only watch the Rats come down, but he was saved. Time for some standout goaltending now by Barrasso, denying Martin Straka. Then the Panthers were on the power play. The Pens shorthanded. Mironov to Yager, the fake, the pass to Mario Lemieux. You're kidding me. He misses an open net. It happens. But it was a great save by Jason Woolley. Third period tied at 2. The former Penn, Straka, great move, cuts in, pass to Lindsay, back to Straka. That's a give and go that works. 3-2 Florida. Now the Pens were down one still. Lemieux taking control, sliding the puck right through Fitzgerald's legs, pass to Murray, and then to Thomas Sandstrom, and Sandstrom does not miss. The prettiest goal of the night. We are tied at 3. But then Brian Smolinski loses the face. Terry Karkner, the shot. Rob Niedermeyer gets the rebound and the game-winning goal. Smolinski not happy. Last chance, though, for the Pens. Nedved to Jager. Beezer, biggest save of the night. 1 of 20 for John Van Beesbroek. And the Panthers have forced a Game 7 with the Penguins in Pittsburgh, a game you can see right here on ESPN, 7:30 Eastern, Saturday night. You know, when the Panthers score the first goal, they're close to unbeatable. They're 10-2 in the playoffs when they do just that. The Panthers holding Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr without goals for the 5th time in 6 games in this series. After the game, Rob Niedermeyer spoke about his game-winning goal.
Well, I just won the draw back to Terry, and he got the puck on the net, and there's a rebound right there, and I was able to get a couple whacks at it, and finally it went in.
Anything happen in the Game 7, you know, it's a tough game, and it's going to be, you know, very exciting to go back and play against these guys. You know, I got 5-6 guys on the team, and, you know, we have to win.
Now check this out. The Panthers have been down in a series only twice in this year's playoffs, but tonight was the first time they were facing elimination. They did respond by outshooting the Penguins by 17 shots. Compare that to Game 4 of the Flyers series, where they relied on the Beezer and his 43 saves. And of course, they're probably happier with the way they won this one. Once again, Game 7, Saturday night on ESPN, 7:30 Eastern.
Now to baseball. Mike Piazza can play in pain. It's sitting in pain that has him down. Doctors found a slight cartilage tear in his right knee earlier this week and have advised him to take the next few days off to see if the swelling subsides. The Dodgers, who have replaced the National League's leading hitter with Tom Prince, finished up business at the vet tonight. Piazza and his .373 average on the bench. Top one, no score, Todd Hollandsworth trying to change all of that and does so off Mike Williams. Third of the year for Hollandsworth, and L.A. stayed to a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 4th, 2-men aboard, 1 out for Glenn Murray. The little blooper in front of Roger Cedeno. Runners will move up. Eric Karros takes the cutoff. Murray has a base hit, but Karros will walk to first and eventually tag out Murray. The hidden ball trick worked so well, the cameras missed it. Bottom 9, 2-1 Dodgers. Todd Worrell in, Mark Whitten out. Tied at 2. Mark Newitt. It's been a long week for Worrell. Still bottom 9, 2-men aboard, 1 out. Pete Incaviglia. Been a great week for him. Base knock. Hollandsworth comes up throwing to Prince. Mickey Morandini, the go-ahead run, the winning run. The winning run. Prince thought he had the plate blocked. Jim Fregosi applauds. 3-2 the final. Worrell 1-3 now in the year. Borland in relief gets the win. Greg Jeffries went 0 for 4 in his first game on a rehab assignment for the Phillies Scranton Wilkes-Barre AAA club. The Phillies have won 3 of 4. Touche for the Mets and Giants. Back in April, Paul Wilson fully bearded. In May, the goatee. Today, clean shaven. This highlight brought to you by Schick. He looks good top. Second, no score. The whiff on Sean Dunston. Next hitter, Wilson against Steve Scarsoni. 8 Ks on the day for Wilson in 8 innings of work. But Alan Watson, equal to the task, freezes Bernard Gilkey. And then, to prove that was no fluke, highlights cut a little loose, TV term, freezes Todd Hundley, 4 Ks on the day for Watson. In the 8th, no score, Ray Ordonez with a chopper, bad bounce. The Gold Glove winner, Matt Williams, may have been playing with it. Ordonez has moved to third. Jose Vizcaíno with the base knock. Ordonez score 1-0 Mets. Wilson has to be happy, and he is, standing next to a guy who's fully bearded, Bill Pulsifer. Barry Bonds in the 9th off John Franco. It's back, or as Chris would say, back, but not back far enough. Javier moves up to second. Franco then pitching to Matt Williams with first base open, 2 down. Wilson has to be looking on, and he is. Wilson looking on and watching Mark Carrion, former Met, go to Jeff Kent. Franco saves it for the rookie. One more shot of Mr. Wilson. There he is. He gets the victory. Pitched great baseball. 3 hits and 8 innings of work. He's now 2-5 on the year. This was the 3rd shutout in 4 games for the Mets pitching staff. Barry Bonds' leadoff double in the 4th was his first extra base hit in the last 15 games. He's hitting just .149 with no homers and 2 RBIs in his last 14 outings.
90-degree temps and sunny skies on day 4 of the French Open. Conditions like those can make a slow clay surface play more like a fast hard court. If the blistering conditions continue, well, Thomas Muster believes it can benefit a player like Pete Sampras. The French Open is the only Grand Slam Sampras has yet to conquer. As for Muster, he took the next step toward his second straight title at Roland Garros. He was up against a Frenchman, Gerard Solvay, and Muster, who has lost his 3 matches on clay in the past 2 years, was overpowering. Like there. And there. Muster wins it in straight sets. Richard Fromberg against Michael Chang. This is second set action. Fromberg from the baseline. Keeping his game alive with that forehand winner, but would go on to take the second set after dropping the first. Chang serving the fourth set with a 1-set edge. Chang not to be denied. Right there. Michael Chang advances. Next up for him, Stefan Edberg. Trust me, the last time they met on clay was in the French Open final back in '89, a match Chang won. Check out the other winners and losers. 5th seed Goran Ivanisevic served 17 aces in his straight set win over David Wheaton. Michael Stich also moving on. The only men's seed eliminated today was number 11, Arnaud Butch, who lost to Paul Harhus in 4 sets. More from Paris later on in the show. Dan?
Hoop news, Bulls assistant coach Jim Clemens will have another title on his business card by Friday. Try head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. The team will make the announcement at noon tomorrow. Here's his resume. He's been an assistant with the Bulls since 1989. Prior to that, he was the head coach at Youngstown State. He played his college ball at Ohio State. He played for 4 teams in the NBA in a career that spanned 9 years. The last 2 letters of his last name sum up his answer to the Nets. Rick Pitino said no. Pitino decided late Wednesday to bypass an estimated $30 million offer to stay at his old Kentucky home. Pitino is in Ireland right now on a golfing trip with Kentucky alumni. Said he made his decision after realizing he needed to practice what he's been preaching.
Quite frankly, all season long I asked the players to be unselfish, to think pass before shot, to think of not so much their minutes or instant gratification, but to think of each other in order to try and attempt to win a championship. And I just feel at this point I'm totally committed to the players, and it really doesn't matter anything else in my life except my personal family. They're an extension of that, and I just want to continue to be with them.
Pitino turned aside a suggestion that he might be interested in another NBA job by saying, "I honestly believe I'll be in Kentucky for the duration." The 76ers are also attempting to dip into the college ranks for their new head coach. The team has reportedly spoken with the attorney for Massachusetts head coach John Calipari. The Sixers hope to have a coach in place by the draft on June 26th. Speaking of which, Sharif Abdur-Rahim has withdrawn his name from consideration 3 weeks after saying goodbye to the Cal Bears at a tear-filled press conference. The Pac-10 Player of the Year, who didn't sign with an agent, was originally leaving to help his family financially. He had been projected as an early first-round pick.
I wasn't really happy with that decision, and being in the NBA, that was something that I dreamed all my life to do, and to not be excited or happy about that decision, or just waiting, that decision wasn't right.
Here's how Sharif's numbers during the season rank with some of the other top big men who were in the draft or feeling out the draft. The San Francisco Chronicle reported Abdur-Rahim's stock may have been dropping because of questions surrounding his ball handling skills and perimeter game. But either way, Todd Bozeman happy to have one of the best players in the country back in school.
Saying it has outlived its usefulness, officials from the Southeastern Conference today called for the end of the College Football Association. This is something the Atlantic Coast Conference has already recommended. Quick history lesson on the CFA. It was created to give big-time football powers a stronger vote in the NCAA. It was also used to do TV deals. But now each conference does that separately. The SEC will present its recommendation at the CFA meeting in Dallas this weekend. We have just begun here on SportsCenter. We'll take you to Pine Needles. It's where Anika Sorenstam is trying to repeat as U.S. Women's Open champ. Back to baseball. This car was broken down and it wasn't pretty. What happened to Chucky? Still to come. And can the Tigers win 2 games in a row? Possible if Harold Baines loses his grip on the situation. Stay tuned.
They say, surround yourself with Earth's forms and you'll find tranquility. In the presence of power, you'll achieve peace of mind. Remove yourself from chaos, and you'll experience rejuvenation. Hence, our newest edition, Wide Open Spaces. Introducing the longer, roomier Jaguar Vanden Pla.
Black & Decker has just made jobs around the house a lot easier to do with the VersaPack interchangeable battery system. With VersaPack, you get more for your money because one set of rechargeable batteries powers over 20 different Black & Decker cordless tools. VersaPack from Black & Decker. It's how things get done.
Sports Center is brought to you by Coors Light. Grab a silver bullet and let the mountain come to you. Coors Light. Tap the Rockies.
Tigers trying to win 2 straight. None's the word in Chicago. Bottom 4, no score. This is Tiger baseball. Ron Karkovice, the drive. Looks like a 5-4-3 double play, right? Mark Lewis drops the ball. Robin Ventura would score. But top of the 6th now, 3-0 White Sox. Wilson Alvarez on the mound. Cecil Fielder with a delivery. Out of the park. 375-foot sign over that sign. Number 14 for Cecil. Detroit within 2 now. Bottom 6, Bob Scanlon on the mound. Ozzie Guillen fakes the bunt, and then he triples. Karkovice comes in. Ray Durham comes in to score to make it 5-1 Chicago. Ready for more Tiger baseball? Bob Scanlon, Darren Lewis, right back to him. Should be a double play. He throws it right over Alan Trammell's head. Sox would capitalize on that error. The band taking advantage, the big hurt. Frank Thomas, the base hit the opposite way. That would score Tony Phillips, and the route was on. And your final was 8-2. This should not surprise us. Remember, this was the same Chicago team that battered Detroit pitching for 41 runs in 3 victories earlier this season. This victory goes to Wilson Alvarez, his 6th of the year. Dan?
Southern Pines, North Carolina is this week's